All right, so this is the detention docket for the 323rd District Court for Monday, December 14th, 2020. Comply with the Texas Supreme Court Emergency Order number 29. We are conducting these proceedings remotely via Zoom. Since the courtroom is closed to the public, we are broadcasting these proceedings on YouTube so the public can observe the proceedings in what should be a public courtroom. No portion of this detention docket may be copied or recorded or published without permission. Violations of this order are punishable by contempt of court of up to $500 and 6 months in the Tarrant County Jail. All right, so we'll go ahead and start. Oh, the court does expect everyone to behave appropriately. This is a courtroom setting. So please refrain from having bright lights or windows behind you, moving objects, domesticating animals, or moving backgrounds. Please not be driving in a moving car while this hearing is being conducted. Also, please do not be in the lavatory or your bed or laying down. That is also inappropriate for court. The court does also expect parents to have their cameras on, or everyone to have their cameras on. If you're an officer of the court does understand you may have to step away, but please do have your cameras on if possible. All right, so that is Nelda Navarez and Michael Lynn. Your cameras do need to be on. Lavoria, I'm going to ask you to stop driving. It seems like y'all are driving or your camera's moving. I certainly don't want anybody to get in an accident during these hearings. Ms. Hawthorne, I do expect your camera to be still as well. All right, so we have, sir, we have a kid in the Tarrant County Jail. What's your name, sir?
Harris.
All right, Mr. Harris, we'll do yours first. All right, so this is a detention hearing. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to attorney. Not in a right to Tarrant County Jail in this one, but he was in jail. If you cannot afford an attorney, so all the blue ones are in jail? Oh, those two, okay. Mr. Lewis, if you can give a copy to the child, and one's for Donna. You'll have to come back for that. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Harris, you have a right to a hearing every 10 days while you're here. You have a right to an attorney, and you have a right to remain silent. Ms. Lothrop's your attorney. I think I saw Mr. Sierra here. Okay, Jeriel, you're almost 18. See, we brought you here for, okay, so you're on probation for aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon, specifically a firearm. And in November, you picked up the adult offenses of unlawful carrying of a firearm or a weapon, assault, family violence, and theft of a firearm. So we issued a warrant because you were not reporting. I'm going to go and detain you because I feel like if I was to let you go, you would either break the law again or fail to report to your probation officer again. So I'm concerned about the safety of the community. Thank you, Mr. Harris. Cameron Newton. Sheriff, do you have Cameron Newton available by chance? All right, Michael Lynn, this is your last chance to turn on your camera. All right, Lavoria, I'm going to ask you to stop moving. The lights moving is a distraction to everyone here. So either y'all can park the car or I'm going to ask you to leave this court proceeding.
I'm getting ready to park right now, sir. My daughter had a doctor's appointment. I'm sorry.
I understand. I just don't want y'all to get in a wreck.
Yes, sir.
Do we have Mr. Newton here?
I don't see the sheriff's office anymore, Your Honor.
No, I'm looking. I don't see either. Okay. All right. So Ed, can you call? I think they got off the. All right, Ms. Keenan, we're going to come back to him. We have Luca Fry. Mr. Fry?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid is brought to our facility, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you here, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And we have appointed an attorney for you, Mr. Sierra, who is here. Mrs. Sierra, good morning. Mr. Sierra?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm going to pop up on the screen, okay?
All right, so Luca, let's see, you're 16 years old.
Yes, sir.
You were here about a year ago for possession of a controlled substance, and you were
Yes.
placed on probation.
Yes.
So now, see, according to the police were dispatched for domestic about 11 o'clock last night. They got a call about a domestic. When they got there, your mom said that you were upset when your girlfriend broke up with you. And then you had left the house on foot. Your girlfriend said that she and you got in an argument over a phone charger, and you yelled at her, calling her fucking stupid. Then pushed her on the shoulders with 2 fingers, grabbed her by the arms. In the process, you hit her in the jaw with your elbow, causing her pain. She did not want to press charges.
Yes. It was
Then mom said that, told the officer that prior to the police getting there, you, in a fit of anger, broke your computer keyboard in half and threw in the front yard with a laundry basket and a small Christmas tree your mom had made for your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And you were yelling and cursing. You tested positive for amphetamines when you got in here. Is mom here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, does he have any kind of prescription?
He does.
Okay, what is he on prescribed?
I'll get you the names and doses.
I need the name of the drug. Like, is the amphetamine part of his prescription that's testing positive?
Is Adderall and amphetamine?
Yes.
Yes, Adderall.
So, all right. So you're supposed to go to JJ AEP, but you're refusing to attend all last week. And you refuse to log into school frequently. And you're refusing to turn on your camera for school.
I've been trying to figure out how to.
Sir, you have the right to remain silent. And your attorney wants you to use it. If you have a question for me, I don't think your attorney minds asking me a question, but telling me a story, he doesn't want you to tell me a story.
Your Honor, may I make a comment, please?
Yes.
About the amphetamines, I spoke with Mom about that because I was concerned it was also his medication. And she told me that he has not taken that medication in about a week because he only takes it during school. And he did not go to school for most of last week, so he was not on that medication when this occurred last night.
That's interesting. Mom?
That is true.
All right. Well, then he's getting street drugs from somewhere else. So,
And
all right.
can I say something?
Well, no, I don't think your attorney wants you to say something. But look, I think you need to understand at this point, here, let me break this down for you. At the core of this issue, there's other things going on. Let's just talk about the girlfriend, all right? Here's the thing about having a girlfriend. If your girlfriend doesn't make you happy, get rid of the girlfriend. That's what girlfriends are for, right? And I could say the same thing to your girlfriend. If your boyfriend doesn't make you happy, get rid of your boyfriend. That's what he's there for. There is no reason to get in arguments or fight when you're 16 years old over a girlfriend or boyfriend. Just cut them loose. That's what they're there for. Okay, that being said, now it's escalated out of control. What I'm more concerned about is you not going to school and following the conditions of your probation. I don't think you understand what probation means. Probation means, Judge Kim, I am asking you to give me a chance, and I'll do everything right so I can stay on the outside so you don't have to send me to a placement or send me to TJJD. And I gave you that chance, and you're not following through with school. So we're going to keep you here now. We'll see how you do on your behavior levels. You can follow the rules here in our detention facility. I'll let you out. If you can't follow the rules, then we'll look at placement or TJJD. All right. Thank you, Lucas. So do we have the jail back yet? Okay. Okay. Whenever they do. All right. So next we have
Judge Kim.
Riley Holland.
Judge Kim.
Yes.
Hey, this is Steve. Quick question. Does Denali Dunbar have a waiver or is he going?
No, he's still going as far as I'm concerned.
Copy that, sir. Just make
I saw Miss Johnson here on Zoom.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
There
you.
is, Judge, just so you know, there are some computer issues going on between my office and the court. He has asked to be waived. We have the documents. We just can't get them to you.
Well,
We're trying.
are you waiving is he level 1-0?
He is.
Ms. Johnson, are you waiving the hearing?
I am.
All right, so security control, you can go ahead for Mr. Dunbar, take him off the docket.
Thank you,
They're
sir.
waiving.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so Riley Stallings. Is that you, Mr. Stallings?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought
Yes, sir.
here, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I've decided whether to keep you here or to release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And your attorney is Mr. Adler, who was here in the court. Mr. Adler, good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Stallings, currently you're on probation for possession of a controlled substance from July of last year. And see, December 8th, Mom's told us that you did not come home since Parker County was supervising you.
Yes, sir.
And we got a call from Supervisor Van Hook saying you're not home, requesting that they get in touch with you. Probation sent you a text saying that you need to get home. Send a text message to them when you get home. You said you're waiting for a ride and you will do that. And you never sent the text. So we contacted your mom, asked if you came back. She said no. And so we issued a warrant for you running off. So we picked up you're picked up in Keller, transported here, give you a drug test, and you tested positive for marijuana and THC. And so, I'm sorry, marijuana and oxycodone. All right, so Mr. Miller, TYRC is one to take this child?
They are, Your Honor. I got an email from Amanda Pruitt. She's also on here. She said that they could get him in and after he's done the 14-day quarantine on the 28th.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Stallings, we're going to detain you to release you to TYRC, but that'll happen after you have to finish 14 days of quarantine here in our facility before they'll take you. All right?
Yes, sir. So on the 28th, I go to TYRC?
I don't drive the bus, buddy. Like, I don't know. Whatever they send, whenever they take you, they take you.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what my PO said.
Well, I mean, if that's what ask your PO, like, I don't know. I'm not the one that runs the shuttle.
Okay, yes, sir.
So
Yes,
that
sir.
being said, also watch your behavior level here, because if you can't behave here, you don't have a right to go to TYRC. I'm giving you a chance. So if
Yes,
your
sir.
behavior level is not a level 1 on here, they will tell me, and then we can just start a revocation proceeding to look at TJJD for you. Okay?
Yes, sir. It will stay 1-0.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Manuel Murillo.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm standing in for Ms. Lopez from Mr. Murillo.
All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Murillo, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You were brought in here. You have to see a judge. I have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And Mr. Beaver is your attorney. Mr. Beaver, good morning. Not here. All right, we're going to ask Mr. Lofton to step in.
Good morning.
All right, so, Manuel, you have been here for criminal, you're on probation for criminal trespass. And you have 2 priors of criminal trespass. Okay, so on Friday, 4:30, police found a Hyundai, which was reported stolen. They tried to stop the car, turn on its lights. The driver disregarded a traffic control device, evaded for about 40 minutes, coming to stop on Lancaster. And you were the driver. The officer said you're the driver in the car. Did we give him a drug test?
Your Honor, according to the records, the young man refused the drug test.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
so here's the thing. What we're going to do is, all right, Mr. Murillo, when a kid refuses a drug test, I just assume they're positive for everything. Do we have a parent here for Mr. Murillo?
That is a negative, Your Honor.
No parents here. All right. So I just assume you're positive for PCP and heroin and crack and everything else. And so that's what happens when you refuse a drug test. Now it's been too much time. Let's go ahead and get a hair follicle test for him, and then we can figure out what he's been using over the last 9 months. Mr. Murillo, if you have a question for me, I'll answer it. But if you want to tell me something, your attorney is advising you to stay quiet. So do you have a question for me?
I was gonna say,
Hold on.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
When you say it was, that's not a question. Do you have a question for me?
I was gonna tell you that I did take it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not a question. Does your statement start with how, when, why, where, who?
Well, yeah, I had a question.
What's your question?
How long do I have to stay on level 1-0 for you, like, to release me?
Release you?
Yes,
I don't know. I'm not gonna make a deal with you right now. I'm gonna wait and see how you do back there. I'm gonna wait and see what drugs came up, because you're positive on your hair follicle test for the things that you might be, then you're gonna be in for quite a long time. All right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Murillo. All right, Joseph Navarez. Mr. Navarez?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm Judge Cam. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding, you've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case, decide whether to release you or not. If I release you, or if I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Your attorney, Mr. Adler, is here. Good morning, Mr. Adler.
Morning, Judge.
All right, so back in August, we referred for aggravated robbery on Main Street. Oh, this is the one, Stockyards, off-duty Dallas PD officer, shot, ran off. Off-duty officer happened to be nearby, followed you, pulled you over. And then Joseph was, identified as the gunman. So, I'm currently on probation for assault. Yeah, so, Mr. Navarez, I just feel like if I was to release you, you'd be a danger to yourself or the community. Do we have a parent here for Joseph?
Judge, I sent her the link, but I'm not seeing her.
Okay.
Judge, she's on here.
She's on, Judge. She is on. Ms. Navarez is on.
Navarez. Ms. Navarez, are you here?
Yes, sir.
No, Miss Navarez, mom.
Oh, my bad.
Does she speak English?
She
Yes,
does.
sir.
Well, Mr. Navarez, I'm deeply concerned if I was to release you. You were on probation for assault and you pick up an aggravated assault. It's very violent behavior. And you kind of brought this to Tarrant County, which probably was a very bad decision, if it's true. So at this point, I'm going to detain you. We have a court hearing for you set in January. Thank you, Mr. Navarez. All right, Lewis Parker. All right, Mr. Parker. Detention hearing. You left, you came back, so we got to see each other again. You know, you have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. How was your visit with your mom?
It was good, sir.
Okay, good. All right. I know you'll be level 1-0 without a problem. We'll see you at your next 10-day hearing. All right.
Sure.
So, all right. Thank you, Mr. Lewis or Mr. Parker.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you. Next, we have Lamarian Perry.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'll be covering for P.O. Mitchell this morning.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Colbert. Good to see you. All right, Mr. Perry, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought here, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I've decided whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Green is your appointed attorney. Mr. Green, good morning to you.
Somebody speaking. Yes,
Mr. Green? I saw him earlier. Try to join. Is Anthony Green here? Must have cut off. All right, Mr. Lofton, I'm going to ask you to step in on this one.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Morning. All right, so Mr. Perry, you were placed on probation last August for burglary of a building, and then you got arrested for 2 criminal trespasses and burglary of a vehicle, which the DA dismissed, but we extended your probation now. So now, according to the police, they were dispatched for a burglary in progress call. Saw a black male wearing a black hoodie trying to enter an apartment. When they got there, the witness was at her balcony and told the officer she saw a suspect inside the apartment. Saw a black male wearing a black hoodie stepping out the front door, and they arrested you, identified you. You said that your uncle used to live there but was kicked out. They saw damage to the front door and door frame and shoe prints that matched your shoe. So somebody from the apartment complex came up, They said that the apartment was vacant. It was checked the day before and there's no damage. All right, so. Okay, so while you're on probation, you've been a TCAP, family preservation. Once you successfully completed the electronic monitor, your behavior changed. Mr. Colbert, what do you mean his behaviors changed? For the better or the worse?
I spoke with mom this morning, just advised that prior to when he was placed on release in October and he successfully completed his EM when he was placed on, when his probation was extended, she stated that shortly after that, client will leave without permission.
Okay, so he's on probation. He had some problems. We extended his probation. We put him on his EM. As soon as the EM comes off, he starts jacking around and he's smoking weed because he's positive when he came in. Is that about right, Mr. Colbert?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, do we have a mom here?
Yes, mom is here.
Where's mom? Oh, she's in the parent room. Hi, mom.
Oh.
Well, you know, he's got an attitude problem, and if he wants to do anything in life, he's got to fix that attitude. So as long as he thinks that he knows more than you or me, then Mr. Perry and I are going to have a lot of problems going through this. So at this point, I'm going to go and detain him. We'll see him in the next 10-day hearing and decide what to do. But Mr. Perry, this is a result of your decision that you're not listening to your mother's instructions. Pretty simple to be a kid. It actually takes a lot of effort to do otherwise. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. So at this point, is the jail back yet? No, I don't think it is. All right. So at this point, I'm going to turn the hearing over to Judge Porter, and I will return for the remaining under 14-year-olds. Thank you, Judge Porter.
Thank you, Judge Kim. Joshua Ballard. Is Mr. Ballard here?
Yes, sir.
I see him, Your Honor.
I'm still looking.
No, we're on here, Judge.
There he is. All right, Mr. Ballard, we've met before. My name's Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, and your attorney, Mr. Pearson, is here. You've been level 1-0 since December 11th. But Mr. Ballard, based on your history, I'm convinced that if I were to release you today, you would be a danger to yourself or to the community. So I'm going to go ahead and order that you be detained. Thank you, Mr. Ballard.
So,
well, he knew. All right. Is Mr. Daniel here?
Okay. Yes, I'm here, Your Honor.
Ah, there you are. Okay. And help me pronounce this young lady's name correctly. Is it Dirk or Durkee? Ma'am, how do you pronounce your last name correctly?
Dirk.
Dirk? Okay. Ms. Dirk, my name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney. And I've appointed Raymond Daniel to be your attorney. Do you see Mr. Daniel on the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you pull your chair a little closer to the microphone for me? Speak up nice and loud. All right. Ms. Blair? Is Ms. Blair here today?
No, sir. Your Honor, I'm going to be covering for her.
All right, Ms. Rodriguez, if you could tell me what brings Ms. Dirk to court today.
She was brought in for assault bodily injury on a family member on November 27. Fort Worth PD was dispatched to a domestic disturbance at a food mart near Las Vegas Trail. Upon arrival, the victim, which was a grandmother, stated that Alexia struck her 15 to 20 times. Alexia was located walking on the sidewalk nearby. It should be noted that Alexia was found in a stolen car in the same area on November 25th and field released by officers. There was also a stolen gun in that car. She and her grandma live off Seminary and Hemp Hill, which is not near Las Vegas Trail. And then on November 30th, Alexia was presented before Judge Kim for the detention hearing and was detained.
Mr. Daniel, what are your thoughts? Uh-oh, looks like Mr. Daniel's frozen.
Okay. Sorry, Judge.
Mr. Daniel, what are your thoughts?
I'm sorry, Judge. I may have missed a little bit. I didn't hear what level she was on.
She's on, let's see.
She's 1-0.
Since
She is 1-0.
December 8th, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, today is the 14th, so she's been on 1-0 for nearly a week. I think that's pretty good. If she can be released to someone that can supervise her, I would ask that she be released, Your Honor.
Is that the grandmother in the family room?
Yes, sir.
All right, grandmother, what are your thoughts?
I think that Lexia is very sorrowful for what she's done. And I think that she's ready to come home and change her life and be an upstanding citizen and do everything that she's supposed to do. I respectfully request that you release her, Your Honor.
Have you talked to her on the phone while she's been in detention?
Yes, sir. I talk to her every day.
And how have those conversations gone?
Very good. And I love the things that she's saying to me now about getting her life together and going to school and, just really good feedback from her. And I'm willing to take on that responsibility to be in charge of her if you would let her go, Your Honor.
Who's here from the DA's office?
Hi, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Farmer, what are your thoughts?
Your Honor, I'm going to defer to the court. I'm looking for the detention hearing report for this case, and I don't know if I just missed it in my email, but I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
Our concern would be suitable supervision, but if she has suitable supervision, then we defer to the court.
Okay. Ms. Rodriguez, she has a prior probation for an assaultive offense from last year. Is that correct? Has that probation expired?
Yes, Your Honor, it has.
Okay. I'm going to authorize her release on the electronic monitor. So the only exceptions that are going to be allowed on the electronic monitor are school and doctor's appointments, at least for the first 2 weeks. If she has no violations, then we will, then the probation officer is authorized to make an exception for religious services, providing there are no exceptions, EEM exceptions during the first 2 weeks, but that's at probation's discretion. All right, that'll be the order of the court.
Okay. Am I dismissed, Your Honor? Excuse me?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Daniel.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Denali Dunbar has waived. So Michael Martinez.
Yes, sir.
I heard him. Let's see if I can. All right, Mr. Martinez. My name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days after. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, and your attorney, Mr. Pearson is here to advise and represent you. The court has previously found that probable cause exists to believe that you engaged in delinquent conduct sufficient to justify your detention. In this case, I will note that you're currently level 1-0 and have been since November 30th. Mr. Pearson, what are your thoughts?
Well, Your Honor, I don't see him here. I don't see his father here. If he is, I'm not aware. And also, we are set Thursday morning for adjudication hearing this Thursday.
All right. Mr. Martinez, based on your history of with the department, I believe that if I were to release you today, you'd be a flight risk. And so on that basis, I'm going to order that you continue to be detained. Thank you, sir.
My big excuse, Your Honor.
Mr. Pearson, is that your last case? I can't remember. It is. Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Pearson. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Jocelyn Saldana. Are you Miss Saldana?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Saldana, my name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, and your attorney, Rafael Sierra, is here. You see Mr. Sierra on the screen?
No, sir.
Rafael, go ahead and say something so your box will light up.
Good morning. You see me?
I see you.
All right. The court has previously found that probable cause exists to believe that you engaged in delinquent conduct sufficient to warrant your continued detention. I will note that you've been level 1-0 for the last 2.5 days. Is Ms. Aguirre here? Yes, Ms. Aguirre, what brings Ms. Saldana to court today?
Your Honor, this is actually an attorney requested detention hearing by Mr. Sierra.
I said, okay, yes.
Yes, Your Honor. I had submitted the request based on my client's comments to me last week and her efforts of wanting to be reconsidered for release, Your Honor.
And what were her comments last week?
Your Honor, that she will be a level 1-0 and she is ready to go home and to do as she is instructed by her mother.
Does she have a parent or guardian here today?
We do, Your Honor. It's listed under Moto Cruz. And Your Honor, mother is Spanish speaking only. I did speak with her this morning. She did say that she's currently in a homeless shelter and that at this time, Jocelyn cannot be released to her.
Oh my God, she had told me I could be released to her.
According to Mom, Jocelyn stated she could not return back to the homeless shelter because she allegedly left in November from the shelter.
Okay, let's. All right. Ms. Aguirre, would you ask Mom if she can have Jocelyn come home today?
Señora Flores.
Sí.
Él fue está preguntando si usted está bien si Jocelyn regresa a la casa, pues el refugio.
No, en este momento no, por dos razones. La que te comenté del refugio, no he logrado, ellos no me han dicho que no puede. Y la segunda es que yo no siento que estoy, no puedo estarla supervisando a ella, como ella lo requiere.
Can I get an ankle monitor?
Jocelyn, silencio, por favor. Okay, what was the second reason she said, Ms. Aguirre?
That she feel that she cannot supervise her.
Okay. Mr. Sierra?
Your Honor, we will defer to the court.
All right. Okay, Jocelyn, I have to order that you be detained.
And she doesn't even have a job. How can she not supervise me?
Okay, Jocelyn, when you have outbursts like this in the middle of when your mom is trying to talk to the court, that shows me that.
I let her speak. What are you talking about? I let her speak.
And then when you interrupt the judge while the judge is trying to explain things to you, that also indicates that you're not willing to follow the rules. So based on that, I'm going to order that you be detained.
Medication. I've been here off my medication.
All right, that'll be the order of the court.
Have you excused, Your Honor?
Thank you, Mr. Sierra.
Yes, Judge.
Judge
Jordan
Porter.
Saunders.
Judge Porter, if you don't mind, I'm going to interrupt for a second. The
Yes,
jail
sir.
Human Newton. So I want to do that one real quick. Mr. Newton.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Miss Keenan Perkins. I'm still figuring it out. Mr. Newton, this is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case to decide whether to keep you here at the Tarrant County Jail to release you. If I keep you here, then you see a judge every 10 days. Your attorney. Oh, Ms. Keenan, right. Ms. Keenan is here. All right, Mr. Newton, this is the, let's see, aggravated robbery. This over the, oh, this is where they threw the gun, the AR-15 in the trash can after the alleged robbery. So, all right, so Mr. Newton, I'm concerned about you being a danger to the community if I was to release you, right? And you're also 17 years old. I forgot what the conditions were that we sent you to the Tarrant County Jail, but obviously I don't have, there's no behavior level system over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to detain you. Do we have a parent here?
She
was on the line, Your Honor, but I don't see her any longer.
Yeah, I don't see her either any longer.
Right.
We do have a hearing set for the morning. We don't have an agreement as of yet. I'm hoping to have some type of resolution this afternoon that I can convey.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Perkins. All right.
Thank you.
Turn it back over to Judge Porter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Jordan Saunders.
Good morning.
I'm sorry, Sheriff. The child's free to go. Y'all are free. Thank you very much for bringing him.
Good morning, Ms. Taylor. Jordan Saunders.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Saunders, my name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, and your attorney, Ms. Taylor, is here. Do you see Ms. Taylor on the screen?
Yes,
Good morning.
All right. Mr. Saunders, you've been leveled. However, we've met before, haven't we?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when that was? It would be when I placed you on probation. In fact, that was just what, a month and a half ago?
Yes, Your Honor.
And now you're back again.
Yes, Your Honor.
That does not bode well for you, does it?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So the fact that I just put you on probation, the fact that you're back here again, leads me to believe, at least right now, that if I were to release you, you would be a danger to the community and you would be likely to reoffend. You can go a long way in proving me wrong by continuing to maintain level 1.0. You do that, and eventually I'll come to believe that, yeah, Jordan really can follow the rules. I'm not there yet, and you understand why, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So as for today, I'm going to order that you be detained, but you maintain level 1.0, and you're giving Miss Taylor a really good reason in 2 weeks to come back and tell me, hey, my client really can't obey the rules. He's willing to give this probation thing a second chance. He's willing to follow the rules. I'm not convinced yet. All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. That's going to be the order of the court. Thank you, Mr. Saunders.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you.
Yep.
Wow. I guess I didn't get a chance to speak.
Just call me later.
Okay. All right, William King, Sylvie Park.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you, Mr. Thomas?
Doing well, sir.
All right, do you prefer Mr. Sylvie Park, or Mr. Park?
Sylvie Park.
Sylvie Park. I recognize your face, but I didn't recognize the name. All right, Mr. Sylvie Park, my name is Judge Porter. The law says when you're brought into detention and initially detained, you must see a judge every 10 business days thereafter. This is your 10-day hearing. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to an attorney, and your attorney, Mr. Mooney, is here. You see him on the screen waving at you?
No, I don't.
Gray hair, gray mustache.
Here. Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, I do.
All right. Mr. Thomas, what brings Mr. Sylvie Park back to court?
Yes, Your Honor. On Sunday, November 29th, William was brought in by the Fort Worth Police Department for the offenses of possession of a controlled substance and theft, $1,500 to $30K. According to the police report, the victim was pinging his iPhone watch, which was in his stolen vehicle. The watch was showing to be inside the residence located at an address at 4900 Lavelle. As officers drove to the area, they located the stolen Pontiac vehicle in the alley approximately 100 yards from the 4900 Lavelle residence. The vehicle was stolen on or about November 28, 2020, approximately 12 noon. The victims were able to meet with officers to recover the vehicle. However, he said that the keys were still missing. Officers observed that the iWatch was still showing to be at the 4900 Lavelle address. The officers had past history with the younger males in the house for narcotics and property crimes. Officers knocked on the residence door and met with William and another male. Officers asked William if he had anything illegal on him. The officers from past experience knew that he was known to carry narcotics on him. At this point in time, William advised the officers that he had dope in his pocket. Officers conducted a probable cause search of William. In his front left pocket, the officers located a metal tin can containing 3 bags of crystalline substance. They did a presumptive test and it came back positive for methamphetamines. Also during this search, they were also able to locate the stolen keys on William's possession.
Mr. Mooney, what are your thoughts?
I've spoken to William about this, about his situation, and I will defer to the court on this. I see that the probation officer had checked that he doesn't think that he has suitable supervision at this time. But again, I will defer to the court on this. I think he's set for January the 6th as a hearing on this.
That is correct, Your Honor. Also, Your Honor, at his initial detention hearing, Judge Kim ordered a hair follicle test, and we received those results here less than an hour ago. And he came up positive for methamphetamines, marijuana, and amphetamines on that hair follicle test.
Mr. Mooney, do you know if Mr. Sylvie Park is taking any prescription drugs?
No, I don't.
Do you know, Mr. Thomas?
That is a negative, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Sylvie Park, I believe, and I may be wrong, but I believe that I'm the one who placed you on probation back in January of this year. And that came with several conditions, not the least of which is don't use illegal drugs. So continued drug use really scares me. The fact that you were on probation and now you're caught with somebody else's car keys and possibly more meth in your pocket, that scares me. So based on that, based on your history, you've only been level 1-0 since the 11th. I'm not yet convinced that if I were to release you, you wouldn't be a danger to yourself. So on that basis, I'm going to order that you be detained.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Thank you, Mr. Mooney.
Thank you.
Okay. Tommy Simmons. This is just a second. Okay. Okay, I'm confused. I have paperwork for a Kobe LaRue LaBelle thrower, but my docket says Tommy Simmons. Ms. Rodriguez, are you still here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Help me understand what's going on.
So Tommy was referred in custody on November 25th around 2300 hours. Fort PD was notified by RTCC that there was a stolen vehicle in a food mart off Las Vegas Trail. RTCC followed the vehicle until I lost sight of it at an apartment complex. A marked unit located the vehicle with 4 occupants inside. Tommy was in the driver's seat and Lexia Dirk was a backseat passenger. The smell of marijuana was evident and Tommy admitted he had a small amount of THC in his pocket, which was found along with an empty pistol magazine to which Tommy stated the gun was in the car. The matching pistol, which was reported stolen, was located in the vehicle behind the front passenger seat, and Tommy was charged with UCW and also with possession of marijuana. He has priors both from March of 2018 for burglary of a habitation, which he was placed on DPP. The DA has filed on the UCW and he's set for court on January the 6th. He was also positive for marijuana on November 30th.
Does he have a parent or guardian here today?
Mom is here through Zoom.
Yes, sir.
All right. And are you Miss Henderson?
Yes, sir.
Miss Henderson, tell me what's going on here.
Tommy wasn't supposed to be where he was, hanging with the wrong people. And he had been doing fine. I don't know. This was just out of the blue.
Who were the kids he was hanging out with?
One of them his name is JV. He goes by JV.
Do you know his last name?
No, sir. I don't even think that he lives here anymore. I think he lives in San Antonio. He was just here visiting with his mom.
Okay. What was he doing out at 11 o'clock at night, allegedly?
He was supposed to be with JV at his mom's house because he was here for the holidays and they were best friends when he lived here.
Oh, but they were best friends, but you don't know JV's last name.
I don't remember his last name. No, sir, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. I work 3 jobs, sir. And
I understand. Okay. Mr. Graham, what are your thoughts?
Your Honor, since he has been level 1-0 for at least several days now, we'd ask the court to release him to home to mom. The court's got some concerns about where he's going. I think we addressed by putting him on a EM pending our court date that I believe is January 6th.
You want to ask mom some questions?
Mom, first, did you hear what I just said regarding the electronic monitor? Do you think that would help you keep track of him and keep him home where he belongs?
I think during this time and him being there, he's never been internalized like this long. I think him being there kind of shook him up, got him together. I don't think he's gonna go nowhere no time soon, and I will make sure he's there for court.
That's all I would have, Your Honor.
Ms. Farmer, what are your thoughts?
Your Honor, we would ask that he be detained. Our concern is just with a firearm. We think that a child with a firearm could be a danger to himself and the community.
Ms. Farmer, did the police report indicate that the firearm was in his immediate possession, or was it just in the car?
I'm not sure, Your Honor, but I believe he's already been charged with UCW, so it must have been in his possession.
It's located in the vehicle behind the front passenger seat, according to the police report. And Tommy was in the driver's seat, and Miss Dirk was in the back passenger seat, whom we saw earlier this morning. Okay. Mom, you have any idea where your son might get a firearm?
No, sir. He had to get it wherever they got the car from because he's never had any possessions of a weapon before. I don't own one, and I don't affiliate or associate with anyone who does.
Well, there's nothing wrong with, nothing inherently wrong with owning a firearm. We just need to make sure that if kids have firearms, they got somebody, an adult, who's been trained to properly use that firearm in their immediate supervision.
Yes, sir. I understand. That's why I own one because I don't know how to use it.
Okay. Will you promise me that you'll get any guns, BB guns, water guns, you'll get them out of the house?
I don't even have none in my house. I don't even have none in my house.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and authorize his release on the electronic monitor. But, and this is a big but, Mr. Simmons, you've been level 1-0 in the back for the last couple of days. I expect you to maintain level 1-0 for your mom at home. If you don't, if you violate your electronic monitor, if you're not following the rules that your mama sets for you, mama, you have my express permission to contact his probation officer, and we will arrange for a second attitude adjustment.
Yes, sir.
All
I
right.
spoke with him already, and I told him that I'm not having it.
There we go. All right. That's going to be the order of the court.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mom. All right. I believe that the next hearing is Judge Kim's.
So thank you, Judge Porter. So at this point, court proceedings are presumed to be open to the public. However, when a child is under 14 years old, the court must make a finding that the interests of the public or the child are better served by conducting these proceedings in public. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and discontinue the YouTube live stream, as well as what parents do we have here for the remaining 3 kids? We have Lloyd, LaBelle, and Morel. So Ms. LaBelle, I'm going to place you in the waiting room. Your child is not up yet. It will be next. We'll go and return you back to this Zoom session whenever your child comes in.
We're here.